The school administration said I wasn't allowed to take my son home until the police got there. I walked into the principal's office and saw my son Ethan sitting in the corner with red-rimmed eyes. Principal Morrison stood blocking the door. Mr. Harbor, Ethan isn't going anywhere until we sort this out. My stomach tightened. Sort what out? What happened? Vice Principal Reeves slid a laptop across the desk without answering. Security footage showed Ethan shoving another boy hard. The kid hit the lockers and crumpled to the ground. I looked at the screen, then at Ethan. Ethan doesn't push people. What aren't you showing me? Morrison's jaw tightened. We're showing you what matters. Ethan assaulted Dylan unprovoked. Dylan's parents are pressing charges. My heart dropped. I turned to Ethan. Did you push him? His voice cracked. Dad, he answer yes or no. Reeves interrupted sharply. Ethan whispered. Yes. I looked back at Morrison. Then why are the police coming? You already know what happened. Morrison leaned forward. Because Dylan's in the hospital with a concussion. This is serious. I sat down next to Ethan and held his hand. 20 minutes crawled by in silence. Officer Bradley finally arrived in full uniform. He reviewed the footage once, nodded to himself. Kid admits it. Pretty clear cut. I felt like I was going to be sick. That's when Ethan spoke up, louder than before. Can I say what happened before that part? Bradley paused, pen hovering over his notebook. Go ahead. Ethan's hands were shaking in his lap. Dylan's been taking my lunch money for 3 weeks. Today he said if I didn't give him my phone, he'd tell everyone my dad was in jail. I was in jail. It's Ethan's biggest shame, the thing he never talks about. I said no. He grabbed my backpack and dumped everything out in the hallway. Then he spit in my face. I turned slowly to face Morrison. Is that on camera? She shifted in her seat. We're not here to litigate every... Show me the full footage. Now. Bradley requested it without looking up from his notes. Reeves hesitated, then pulled up the full video. There it was. Dylan cornering Ethan by the lockers, the spit hitting Ethan's face, the backpack being dumped, Ethan's things scattered everywhere, Ethan trying to walk away, Dylan blocking his path, Ethan shoving him once to get past, Dylan stumbling backward into the lockers. Bradley's expression changed completely. You showed me 10 seconds of a 4-minute interaction, Morrison stammered. We thought the relevant part was, you thought wrong. I snapped. My voice was shaking with anger now. You called the cops on my son for defending himself and didn't even review the full video? Bradley closed his notebook with a sharp snap. No charges. Kid was defending himself. He looked directly at Morrison. You might want to call Dylan's parents back. I stood up and grabbed Ethan's hand. We're leaving. Morrison started to protest, stepping toward the door. Bradley cut her off immediately. Let them go. I pulled Ethan out of the office and through the hallway. Outside in the parking lot, Ethan finally broke down crying. I pulled him close and held him tight. You did nothing wrong. He whispered against my shoulder. They didn't even ask. We sat in the car for 10 minutes before I could drive. The next day, I filed a formal complaint with the district. Attached the full security footage myself. Morrison was placed on administrative leave 2 weeks later. Reeves was reassigned to a different school. Dylan's parents dropped their complaint after seeing the real video. Ethan switched schools the following month. He needed a fresh start somewhere people would actually